Good morning to early afternoon. You're tuned in now for your hurricane and severe weather update. Today is July 8th, 2011. TGIF. Yeah, I know everyone's glad it's Friday today. As you can see right now, we're looking at the Storm Prediction Center map right now to Norman, Oklahoma. You can see right now there is a slight risk of severe thunderstorms over portions of the northern plains today, over portions of Montana, Colorado, even parts of Wyoming, Nebraska, South and North Dakota, and western parts of Minnesota. For mainly this afternoon and evening, when showers and thunderstorms will become a little bit more numerous later on today. As you can see, there also is a risk of severe thunderstorms over portions of the mid-Atlantic coast, stretching all the way down to portions of the southeast today, where a risk of mainly damaging winds and possibly some large hail is possible with any storm that develops around this area. The overall hail, wind, and tornado threat looks to be a little bit more increase over portions of the northern plains later on today. Please look at tomorrow's risk. Tomorrow's risk has been shifted a little bit farther off to the east to include portions of Minneapolis, parts of maybe the western part of Iowa, central parts of Nebraska, extreme northwest Kansas, and now right around the Denver, Colorado area and points northeast. So northeastern Colorado is also in the risk of severe thunderstorms tomorrow, mainly a damaging wind and large hail threat. The tornado risk does not look significant tomorrow, but still something to keep an eye on that we could still see maybe an isolated tornado in some spots. Here's a look at right now the National Weather Service website right now. As you can see, once again, we actually are starting to build up that heat again with these heated. There's another batch, I believe, of heat advisories for portions of Oklahoma, which has been very warm over the past few days. As this ridge of high pressure continues to settle over this area, that big bubble of heat continues to just sit here. It keeps the ground very warm. It keeps the overall air very warm. So we're continuing to see temperatures obviously nearing the triple digits in some areas. As you can see, we also have flash flood watches over portions of Kentucky, up into portions of the mid-Atlantic, with rainfall that's falling currently right now could result in a little bit of too much rainfall in some of the creeks and streams. Just look right now at the Atlantic right now. You can see, once again, another very stormy morning to early afternoon with the monsoon trough beginning to activate a little bit along the intertropical convergence zone. You can also see we have an upper level low which is centered over a portion of the central Gulf of Mexico. There's also a tropical wave which is interacting with it over portions of western parts of Florida, which actually had a chance last night by the National Hurricane Center of giving it about a 40% chance of development last night. Obviously, that chance is obviously diminished significantly as the shear and the interact upper level lows pretty much killed his chances. So that's pretty much out the question of development. We're also watching an area of thunderstorms over portions of the Lesser Antilles today. Both portions of the Antilles are getting rainfall today. We have a wave which is right around here, and we have another wave on the southern flank of the island which is producing some pretty heavier rainfall. But you can see once again environmental conditions are not conducive for any kind of development. Here's a look at tropical storm. I believe this is, I'm trying to remember the name on it. I think this is Carlos, if that's the name that's right. I apologize if I got it wrong or not. I haven't checked the list of the names. But this is our latest tropical storm in the eastern Pacific. Winds of 70 miles an hour. It's moving on pretty much northwest to west-northwest. And this has the potential to become our next hurricane later on today as it moves off out to sea. Doesn't look like it's going to have an impact on Mexico landfall-wise, but rip currents, wave action, and showers are still possible as it heads off to the sea. Looks like it will likely become our minimal hurricane, maybe 80-85 miles an hour before weakening as it heads back into colder waters. One more map I want to show you was the latest GFS over the next several days for the Atlantic, not showing anything that bears watching. Continue to keep the trough low pressure in the Atlantic and obviously the upper ridge in place, keeping anything from developing, keeping overall the environmental conditions very hostile over a portion of the area. So, safely speaking, there's nothing in the Atlantic right now that we're watching extremely close. Just a couple of tropical waves in the Lesser Antilles producing some squally weather around the Caribbean. But safely speaking, there is nothing in the area that bears watching right now. So we'll continue to keep you updated on this page as long as we see anything. If we see anything developing, obviously we'll be sure to let you know. But right now, safely speaking, the tropics remain very quiet.